Good morning. Today class is focused on lump system analysis. So first question arises, what is a lump system? So in lump system, interior temperature remain essentially uniform at all time during a heat transfer process. So there are no temperature gradient within the system. This is a very important parameter, and if a system is a lump system, then there is only one variable, that is time. So the temperature of the body changes with respect to time only, and temperature variation with respect to position is not there. So in that case there is only one parameter, that is temperature. So this can be explained with the help of small diagram, small example. Let us consider you have a copper ball. So the thermal conductivity of copper is very high. So normally what happen, the when we heat up a copper ball and place it in open environment for cool down, so the temperature of the copper ball will remain constant. It means the temperature variation with time is there, but temperature within the ball will remain constant. So as you can see in this diagram, the whole ball is maintained at 70 degrees centigrade. So there is no temperature variation with respect to position. So in that case we can say this ball is behave like a lump system. On the other hand, if we take an example of roasted beef, so as you can see in this example, the interior temperature is 40 degrees centigrade, but the outer temperature is 110 degrees centigrade. So there is a temperature gradient with respect to position. Because the temperature variation is there with respect to position, so we cannot assume this system as lump system. So lump system is those system where there is no temperature variation with respect to position of the system, position at the system. So the whole system is maintained at uniform temperature, but there can be temperature variation with respect to time. For example, if we again consider this bowl, initially the ball temperature is at 70 degrees centigrade, but after 5 minutes its temperature will reduce to let's say 50 degrees centigrade. So there is temperature variation with respect to time, but there is no temperature variation with respect to position. So this system is called lump system. So if there is temperature variation with respect to position as well as time, in that case there will be two variable. One is position, another one is time. But if we assume the system is behave like a lump system, so in that case there is only one variable, that is called time. So this consideration simplify our problem, because there is only one variable, so the problem become very easy to solve. So now question arises, at what condition we assume system as lumped system. So in this lecture we will discuss this thing. So first of all we assume a body. As you can see in this diagram, let us say we have a solid body, and the mass of the body is m, and its volume is v, its density is rho, and initial temperature is Ti. The temperature is changing with respect to time, so this is a function of time only. So if we are assuming this is a lump system, so the temperature is function of time only. So this T is called Tt, that is function of time. This As indicates surface area through which heat is transferring into the environment, and this H is convective heat transfer coefficient, and T infinite is ambient temperature. So there is temperature gradient. The temperature of the body is T and environmental temperature is T infinite. So some of the heat, due to this temperature variation, some of the heat will transfer to the environment. So due to convection, so the rate at which heat exchange between environment and the body will be calculated with the help of Newton law of cooling, that is Q equal to HA delta T. Here we are assuming the ambient temperature is higher as compared to solid body temperature, so heat will transfer from outside environment to the body. So here Q will be H into AS, and T infinite is higher than the body temperature, so temperature difference will be T infinite minus T. Now during a differential time interval dt, the temperature of body rise by a differential amount dt. So at energy balance of solid for the time interval dt can be expressed as, now heat transfer into the body during time dt will be equal to the the increase in energy of the body during time dt. What it means, so whatever energy transfer from environment to the solid body will be equal to amount of energy content increase of the solid body. So this is our energy balance. The heat transfer into the body during time dt will be equal to the amount of energy increase in the body during time dt. So the heat transfer into the body can be explained with the help of Newton law of cooling. So the left hand side will be HA delta T, and we are considering this energy balance during time dt. So we have to multiply this equation by dt. So it will give us total amount of energy transfer during time dt, and that energy is transferred from ambient environment to the solid body, so the energy content of the body will increase. So this is the amount of energy content increased, that is mc delta t. Here dt will be t minus t infinite. So if we and again this mass is equal to density into volume, because unit of density is mass per unit volume, and if we multiply it by volume, then volume term will be cancelled out. So mass can be written as rho into v. Similarly dt will be equal to dt minus t infinity, and this T infinity is constant because this is ambient temperature, so the ambient temperature will remain constant. So if we put these value in equation 1, then finally, and after rearranging, like putting this dt term in the denominator and rearranging that equation, finally we can write above equation in this form. Now to solve this equation, we have to integrate that equation from time t equal to 0 to time any time t. So at time t equal to 0, the temperature of the body will be Ti, that is Ti equal to initial temperature. So at time t equal to 0, this T will be equal to Ti, and at any time t, this T will be equal to Tt. So if we integrate the equation 2 using above conditions, then after the integration we will get this equation. Now if we take exponential on both sides, then and replacing this entire term, by replacing this entire term, that is HA upon rho V Cp by B, then this equation can be written as this one. So here this HA rho upon VCP is written as equal to B in the above equation. So in that way we get this equation. Now this B is a positive quantity because everything is positive. The heat transfer coefficient, area, rho, V, Cp all are positive quantity. So this B will be a positive quantity and its unit is time inverse, that is 1 upon second. And the reciprocal of B has unit equal to time and it's called time constant. So this is our final equation. So with as you can see, this equation is relationship between time and temperature. In the right hand side the time is there, in the left hand side we have temperature term. So with the help of equation 4 we can calculate temperature of the body with respect to time. I am explaining again. This equation, with the help of equation 4, we can calculate temperature of the body with respect to time. As you can see in this diagram is between temperature and time. So this equation is represented in this diagram. So you can see the graph between temperature and time. So if you observe this equation, you can make several conclusions. So the first conclusion is that this equation 4 enable us to determine the temperature of a body at time t. So this equation will give you information about temperature with respect to time. The second conclusion is that the temperature of body approach the ambient temperature exponentially. As you can also see in the diagram, the temperature variation with respect to time is exponential. The third conclusion is that the temperature of the body changes rapidly at the beginning but rather slowly later on. As you can see here, the slope is higher, but as time move the slope become more flatter. So the rate of change of temperature is much rapid at initial time, but as time passes the temperature variation start declining. So you will get such type of graphs. The last conclusion is that a large volume value of B indicates that the body will approach the environment temperature in a shorter time. So this is very important conclusion. So with the help of B you can immediately say how temperature will vary with respect to time. So for a large value of B, the temperature reach ambient temperature at a much faster rate. As you can see, the B3 have high value, so the temperature reach ambient temperature at a much faster rate as compared to B1. Now once the temperature at time t is available from equation 4, the rate of convection heat transfer between the body and its environment at that time can be determined from Newton law of cooling. So first of all you have to calculate this Tt. So you can put that value in Newton law of cooling and you can calculate the rate of convective heat transfer, that is Qt will be equal to HA delta T. Similarly, the total amount of heat transfer between body and surrounding medium over time interval t equal to 0 to any time t is simply the change in energy content of the body. This Q equal to mc delta t. So mc, this t you can calculate from equation 4, and this Ti is initial temperature of the body. So the total amount of energy content increase of the body will be equal to the mc into temperature difference, means the final temperature minus initial temperature of the body. This Ti indicate initial temperature of the body and this Tt indicate temperature of the body at any time t. So with the help of this you can determine total amount of energy content increase or decrease of a body due to this energy transfer. And the amount of heat transfer reach its upper limit when the body reach the surrounding temperature T infinite. So the maximum heat transfer between body and its surrounding will be this one. because heat transfer can occur only up to the point when body temperature will reach to the ambient temperature, when both ambient and the body temperature have same value. After that heat will not transfer because there will be no driving force for heat transfer. So finally, if this Tt will become T infinite, that is equal to ambient temperature. So that will be the upper limit of energy gain or loss by the body. So if we replace this Tt by T infinite, then this is the maximum amount of energy which can be gained or lost by the system. We could also obtain this equation by substituting this Tt relation from equation 4 in equation 6 and then integrate it from time t equal to 0 to t infinite. In that case we can also get this equation. Now the question arises, what are the criteria for lump system analysis? As I explained you earlier, the lumps, when we assume any system as a lump system, then it will simplify our problem, because in that case we only have one variable, that is time, and we neglect position variable, so it simplify our problem. But the question is arise, at what condition we assume the system is a lump system? So before that we have to first know about the characteristics length. So this characteristic length is volume upon area which is available for convective heat transfer, means this outer area of the body, because that area is available for convective heat transfer, that is heat transfer from body to the ambient environment. So this characteristic length is defined as volume upon this AS area. Now we also have one important term called Biot number. This Biot number is equal to HLC upon K. This H is heat transfer coefficient, this K is thermal conductivity of the body, and LC is characteristic length. This Biot number can be explained as convection at the surface of body divided by conduction within the body. So this is the ratio of these two parameters, or if you write in terms of resistance, then you can say this Biot number is conduction resistance divided by convection resistance. Now if Biot value is less than or equal to 0.1, so in that case you can assume the system is behave like a lump system. So if in the numerical, first of all you have to calculate the Biot number and you have to check whether its value is more than 0.1 or less than 0.1. So if its value is less than or equal to 0.1, so in that case you can assume the system is behaving like a lump system, and there are no temperature variation with respect to position, and temperature variation occur only with respect to time only. We can also solve one example. For again, if we have a spherical copper ball which has thermal conductivity of 401 watt per meter per degree centigrade, and its diameter is 12 centimeter, and heat transfer coefficient is 15 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. So first of all we have to calculate the characteristic length, that is volume upon area. The volume of sphere is 1 by 6 pi d cube and its area is pi d square. So this characteristic length will be 1 by 6 d and its value will be 0.02 meter. So after that we determine Biot number, that is HLC upon K. Now all the value are given, and finally the Biot number value will be 0.00075, that is less than 0.1. it means the system will behave like a lump system, and we can solve this problem using by assuming lump system param analysis. This is end of today lecture. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you.